Clear Lake, Iowa, February 3, 1959, will forever be remembered as the day the world lost two great talents of rock and roll. After a concert at the Surf Ballroom, Buddy Holly, Ritchie Valens, and J.P. the Big Bopper Richardson boarded a Beechcraft Bonanza, unaware that this journey would be their last. Buddy Holly, a mere 22-year-old vocalist and guitarist, was one of the brightest talents of the young generation of musicians. His hits such as Peggy Sue and That'll Be the Day won the hearts of fans worldwide. Despite unfavorable weather conditions, Holly decided to charter a private plane to get to the next stop on his concert tour. Ritchie Valens, only 17 years old but already recognized as a promising artist, captured listeners' hearts with his hit, La Bamba. His music, a blend of rock and roll with Latin rhythms, quickly gained popularity. That evening, he was at Holly's concert, which inspired him to strive for success in the world of music. Unfortunately, fate had other plans for them. Just minutes after taking off from the Clear Lake Airport in Iowa, the Beechcraft Bonanza encountered trouble. The pilot, Roger Peterson, struggled to maintain control of the plane in the face of strong winds and a snowstorm prevailing over the area. In an instant, tragedy became unavoidable. The plane crashed with tremendous force in a field just a few kilometers northwest of the airport. Everyone on board, Holly, Valens, Richardson, and pilot Peterson, perished on the spot. The world of rock and roll plunged into mourning. This disaster, later dubbed the day the music died, shook fans worldwide. The three musicians, with great potential and an unpredictable future ahead of them, were suddenly robbed of life. Their deaths were not only a terrible loss for family and friends, but also for the entire music industry. Despite the passage of years, Buddy Holly and Ritchie Valens remain living legends of rock and roll. Their music still moves hearts and inspires new generations of artists. Although this tragic day will remain a dark spot in music history, the legacy they left behind will never die. Galesburg, Mississippi, October 20, 1977, marked a somber day in the history of rock and roll, as the world lost several members of the renowned band Lynyrd Skynyrd in a devastating plane crash. What started as a routine flight turned into a tragedy that shook the music industry to its core. Lynyrd Skynyrd, famous for hits like Sweet Home Alabama and Free Bird, was at the peak of their career when tragedy struck. The band, led by Ronnie Van Zant, had just performed a show in Greenville, South Carolina, and were en route to Baton Rouge, Louisiana, for their next concert. The ill-fated flight was aboard a Convair CV-300, chartered to take the band and crew to their destination. However, shortly after takeoff from the Greenville downtown airport, the plane encountered mechanical issues, forcing an emergency landing. Pilot Walter McCreary attempted to land at the Macomb-Pike County Airport in Mississippi, but the aircraft ran out of fuel and crashed into a dense forest near Galesburg. The impact was catastrophic. Tragically, Ronnie Van Zant, Steve Gaines, backup singer Cassie Gaines, Steve's sister, assistant road manager Dean Kilpatrick, and both pilots, Walter McCreary and William Gray, lost their lives in the crash. Several other band members and crew suffered severe injuries. The crash site, a remote wooded area in Mississippi, became a scene of heartbreaking loss and devastation. Fans worldwide mourned the untimely deaths of these talented musicians, whose music had touched so many lives. Despite the immense tragedy, the spirit of Lynyrd Skynyrd remained unchanged. The surviving band members regrouped and resumed activity in 1987. Taking the microphone was Johnny Van Zant, the younger brother of Ronnie, who was also the band's leader and vocalist. Over the years, Lynyrd Skynyrd has continued to perform, honoring the memory of those lost in the crash. The band's music remains a testament to the enduring spirit of rock and roll, reminding fans of the talent and passion that defined the Southern rock genre. The world of music was left in shock and mourning on August 25, 2001, when the news broke of the tragic plane crash that claimed the life of R&B sensation Aaliyah. The young singer, only 22 years old at the time, had already made an indelible mark on the industry with her talent and charisma. Aaliyah, born Aaliyah Dana Houghton, was on the cusp of superstardom when tragedy struck. She had just finished filming the music video for her hit single, Rock the Boat, in the Bahamas and was set to return to the United States. Aaliyah's music, with its unique blend of R&B, hip-hop, and pop, had captured the hearts of millions. Hits like Try Again, One in a Million, and Are You That Somebody showcased her exceptional vocal talent and innovative style. The ill-fated flight was a Cessna 402B charter aircraft, destined to fly Aaliyah and her entourage back to Miami, Florida. However, the small plane encountered difficulties shortly after takeoff from Marsh Harbor Airport in the Bahamas. Reports indicate that the aircraft was overloaded with equipment, exceeding its weight limit. The pilot, Luis Morales III, struggled to gain altitude and control of the plane. Tragically, just minutes after takeoff, the aircraft crashed into a marshy area about 200 feet from the runway. Additionally, it was revealed that the pilot, who was hired just hours before the flight, tested positive for drugs in his system. Furthermore, he did not possess the proper credentials to pilot that aircraft. According to witness testimonies and toxicology reports, Aaliyah was also under the influence when she boarded the plane. It is likely that drugs were administered to her and she was coerced onto the plane. The impact of the crash was devastating. Aaliyah, along with 8 others on board, including members of her record label and video production team, perished in the accident. The music industry and fans worldwide were left reeling from the loss of such a promising talent. The tragic accident sparked investigations into the cause of the crash, highlighting concerns about aircraft safety regulations and the responsibilities of charter companies. In the wake of Aaliyah's untimely death, tributes poured in from fellow musicians, fans, and industry insiders. Her impact on the music world was undeniable, and her legacy continues to inspire new generations of artists. Kobe Bryant, known affectionately as the Black Mamba, was not just a basketball player but a cultural icon. His extraordinary talent on the court and fierce competitive spirit endeared him to fans worldwide. Bryant's impact transcended the sport as he became a symbol of determination, excellence, and perseverance. The fatal flight was aboard a Sikorsky S-76B helicopter, which Bryant frequently used for transportation. On that fateful Sunday morning, January 26, 2020, Kobe, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others boarded the helicopter bound for the Mamba Sports Academy in Thousand Oaks, California. Weather conditions were reportedly poor that day, with thick fog and limited visibility. Despite these challenges, the helicopter took off from John Wayne Airport in Orange County. However, tragically, the aircraft encountered difficulties and crashed into the rugged hills of Calabasas, California. The impact of the crash was devastating. There were no survivors. The loss of Kobe Bryant, his daughter Gianna, and the 7 others on board reverberated across the sports world and beyond. Investigations into the cause of the crash revealed that the pilot, Ritchie Valens, may have become disoriented in the dense fog. It was also noted that the helicopter was not equipped with a Terrain Awareness and Warning System, TAWS, a device that could have potentially alerted the pilot to the proximity of the hillside. The basketball community mourned the loss of one of its greatest players, while fans worldwide paid tribute to Bryant's remarkable career and indelible impact. Bryant's legacy includes 5 NBA championships with the Los Angeles Lakers, 2 Olympic gold medals, 18 All-Star selections, and countless records and accolades. The tragedy sparked discussions about helicopter safety regulations, particularly for private and charter flights. It also prompted a re-evaluation of the risks associated with flying in adverse weather conditions. In the wake of the devastating loss, tributes poured in from around the world. Athletes, celebrities, politicians, and fans alike paid their respects to Kobe Bryant, remembering him not just as a basketball legend, but as a loving father, mentor, and inspiration to millions. The nation was plunged into sorrow on July 16, 1999, with the devastating news of the untimely death of John F. Kennedy Jr., son of the beloved former President John F. Kennedy and Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. The tragic plane crash that claimed his life, along with his wife Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and her sister Lauren Bessette, shocked the world and left a lasting void in the hearts of many. John F. Kennedy Jr., often affectionately referred to as John, was a prominent figure in American society. As the son of one of the most iconic presidents in U.S. history, he grew up in the public eye. Despite the weight of his family's legacy, he carved out his own path, becoming a successful lawyer, journalist, and publisher. The fatal flight was aboard a Piper Saratoga aircraft, piloted by Kennedy himself. The small plane departed from Essex County Airport in New Jersey, en route to Martha's Vineyard, Massachusetts. John, Carolyn, and Lauren were heading to the Kennedy family compound for a wedding. However, tragedy struck when the aircraft encountered thick fog and low visibility near Martha's Vineyard. The challenging weather conditions proved fatal, as Kennedy struggled to maintain control of the plane. Despite efforts to correct the flight path, the aircraft spiraled out of control and crashed into the Atlantic Ocean off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The news of the crash sent shockwaves across the nation. The search and recovery effort spanned several days, as authorities scoured the waters for any sign of survivors. Tragically, the bodies of John F. Kennedy Jr., Carolyn Bessette Kennedy, and Lauren Bessette were recovered from the wreckage, confirming the worst fears of their loved ones and the public. The loss of John F. Kennedy Jr. was felt deeply by the American people. He was not just a member of the famous Kennedy family, but a charismatic and promising individual in his own right. His life was marked by accomplishments, including his work as the founder and editor-in-chief of George Magazine, a publication that combined politics and entertainment. The investigation into the crash revealed that Kennedy, an inexperienced pilot with only 310 hours of flight time, may have been struggling with spatial disorientation caused by challenging weather conditions. The lack of key visual references in the foggy night sky, coupled with limited experience in instrument flying, led to the tragedy. John F. Kennedy Jr. thus he shared the fate of his tragically deceased father and his brother. Those are just some of the tragedies involving famous individuals. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe for more. Thanks.